Let me put to you what your alleged co-handler said to us. He said that he was not aware that you were investigating Mr. Matlala. Do you have a response to that?
As you said, Brigadier Duma, who was senior to this co-handler, is the one who knew what I was doing. Even the notice for investigation went to Duma.
Why didn't you mention Duma at all in your statement?
Let me not incriminate myself, Jay.
You see, your alleged co-handler didn't just say he was unaware that you were investigating Mr. Matlala. What he said is that if you were investigating Mr. Matlala, sharing documents relating to your investigation of crime intelligence with Mr. Matlala, who was a completely different target, would be bad intelligence practice. And what's your response to that?
That is thinking, and there's nothing I can do about it.
But your handler, are you saying that your handler was aware of this and was quite happy with you sharing these documents with Mr. Matlala?
Let me not incriminate myself.
Mr. Mogotshi, your co-handler's name is all over the press as a senior crime intelligence official. Anyone who showed any interest in these people would have been able to identify the fact that one of the people who you had asked Mr. Matlala to buy tickets for was a crime intelligence official.
I know how that leaked.
And long before this commission got set up,
Yes.
Do a Google search. You'll find lots and lots of references to your co-handler and his role in crime intelligence.
Okay, that is true.
You see, what I want to put to you is that none of these dealings, in terms of which you exposed your co-handler to Mr. Matlala, make any sense if Mr. Matlala was an actual target of your investigation. And what I want to put to you is he wasn't a target of your investigation at all. In fact, he was someone who you hoped to work with against the real target, who was General Khumalo. What's your response to that?
No comment. I'm not going to implicate myself.
You're not going to incriminate yourself.
Yeah.
Let's look at your interest in General Khumalo. Let's start with your approach out of the blue to General Mkhwanazi. Remember in September, out of nowhere, you sent him WhatsApps. Can you go to page 290 of the exhibits file?
19.
290. Do you have it? Now, these are the WhatsApps that you describe as having been sent to General Mkhwanazi in your statement as a way of making contact with him. And your opening gambit on the 30th of September, you say, "My General, Brown Mkhotsi from the Northwest, an internal attempt to discredit you through a defeating the ends case." That's the 30th of September. General responds to you the next day and says, "Morning, sir, what are you talking about? What defeating case are you referring to, and who's behind it?" And just remember, he's asking who's behind it. You immediately forward him the Mpangeni occurrence book. And then if we go down all the way to page 292, you answer his question, who's behind it? When at 9:19, you say, "General Khumalo, DivCom, just check your standing with him. Yesterday, he pushed a negative narrative about you on the CITs in KZN. The same complainant spoke with him." And that's a reference to the complainant in the Mpangeni case, who you've referred to at 7:51 when you say, "I'm meeting with the complainant, will revert." You with me so far?
That's correct.
Go over the page, 293. That text we've just seen is at the start, and in fact it comes above a crime intelligence presentation. So when you say General Khumalo DivCom is behind this attempt to discredit General Khumalo, yesterday he pushed a negative narrative about you on CITs in KZN, you actually attach
to discredit General Mkhwanazi.
General Mkhwanazi. you attach a screenshot which shows a crime intelligence presentation. And then General Mkhwanazi responds to your Empangeni materials. He says, I know that matter very well. An illegal operation was conducted at the premise of a high-ranking DCS official. We go down through 294. He gives his whole version on the illegal search at the prison officers. But he responds to your suggestion that General Khumalo is behind this attempt to frame him with a defeating the ends case, which we see at the top of page 295. He said, what did he say about me? Responds to your General Khumalo DivCom, just check your standing with him. Yeah, was your message, he says, what did he say about me? You respond at 9:37, and you say, in response to what General Khumalo allegedly said about General Mkhwanazi, you say that he said you, in other words, General Mkhwanazi, are having your interest and that maybe you're having your own cartel. You don't listen to crime intelligence. So you are telling General Mkhwanazi that General Khumalo, at a crime intelligence briefing, said maybe General Mkhwanazi has his own cartel.
Is it not preceded by keep it a secret, as in Gen, this must be in your chest? Then that chat that you just mentioned.
Yeah, indeed, Commissioner. So if we go a step back, you respond to General Mkhwanazi when he says, what did he say about me? Gen, this must be in your chest. He responds, trust me on this one, and then you give the answer. You're having your interest in that maybe you're having your own cartel. You don't listen to crime intelligence. Then Masemola intercepted him. Also spoke about your provincial crime intelligence. Remember, he's retiring next month. And General Mkhwanazi is clearly concerned. He says, please get me that presentation if there is one to confirm, or otherwise if there's any recordings. And you respond to that, nothing. In other words, there are no recordings. General Khan will brief you next week. So that's what the exchange was. And what I want to put to you is that the overall picture is that you are making very serious allegations against General Khumalo to General Mkhwanazi. You're suggesting that General Khumalo is trying to frame General Mkhwanazi, is trying to link him to cartels, and that General Khan will be able to tell General Mkhwanazi more about the treachery of General Khumalo. What's your response to that?
Thank you, Chair. You know, this I'm going to respond because it's in my statement. Like I say, what I said in my statement still stands. Logically, anyone here, if you can pick up a phone and send a message to General Mkhwanazi or any general in the province, he won't respond. The time I told you about the legend building, that is the legend building at its best. A man who doesn't know you get to talk to you. When I brought the application here for your recusal, I led you, or I didn't lead you. It's because you called me. You were talking, but I heard that you wanted to do something. That's what an agent does. Immediately when there's an opportunity of information, you utilize it. Like the word Khan, General Khan, is known in the crime intelligence. It's not my friend. In my previous statement, I said I met him once, greeted him from the car, but I knew when I used this name. Look how General Mkhwanazi responded. In full, he explained to me what happened. He will not, Lieutenant General will not respond to those things if you don't tell him what he wants to hear.
You see, why General Mkhwanazi would be interested in responding to you, I want to suggest, is not because of any dramatic legend building that you did in this exchange, but because you clearly had access to a crime intelligence briefing, and you gave him a screenshot. Where did you get that screenshot?
Let me not incriminate myself.
Are we no longer answering questions now?
No, obviously I'm going to say a source. You know, ask me what is the source.
No. Saying a source is not necessarily incriminating yourself unless your conduct in relation to that source was illegal.
I'll say it's a source.
Well, I want to know the name of the source and how I can contact that source. And are you saying that if you were to give that information away, you would disclose that you have committed an offense by getting this crime intelligence briefing cover page? Is that what you're saying?
I don't understand the question, Chair.
Answering that question cannot incriminate yourself.
Okay, but I don't want to incriminate myself.
I know you don't want to incriminate yourself, but I am asking you, if you were to give me, with the mere fact of the name of the person name and details of the person who gave you that cover page, expose you to criminal prosecution? Because if not, you're obliged to furnish it.
If I don't give the name?
No. If by giving the name you have exposed yourself, you have disclosed that you have committed an offense, then you don't have to. If by giving the name you are not disclosing that you have committed an offense, then you're obliged to.
But then I don't want to incriminate myself.
So you're saying that if you were to give me that name, it would be evidence that you have committed an offense?
Answering these questions leads me to incriminate myself.
No. Answer the specific question that I just asked you. If you were to give me the name of the person who gave you that Division Crime Intelligence slide, would that disclose that you have committed an offense? The identity of that person would be sufficient to show that you have committed an offense.
I don't, but it's, if I say it's a source, means a source is a source.
No, I'm not interested in sources. I want people I can speak to.
No, Chair. There's no way you can get a source name. A source, never. No.
Chair, I must ask you to instruct the witness to answer this question. It seems that he wants to protect his source, which is different from asserting a privilege against self-incrimination. He can disclose the matter, doesn't need to give the name publicly. He can write it on a piece of paper like he did last time, and we will keep it confidential.
A chain of information of this nature, it will come from this person, goes to my handler, comes to me, maybe I give it to somebody, and if my handler is the one who got it, may his soul rest in peace.
Well,
you know... Mr. Mkhwanazi, this is not about self-incrimination.
Yes.
It is simply not. So it's just a question of either giving the information or plainly refusing to give it. It has nothing to do with the self-incrimination.
So, Chair, is a witness compelled to give a name of a source in the commission?
The witness is compelled to give evidence, and this relates to exactly that. This is about evidence. And if the issue is not divulging it openly, you can give us the name. You can write it down and give it to us. It has nothing to do with self-incrimination.
All right. I will write it down. I'll talk to my lawyer to give it to you.
You are on the witness box now. You have to answer. The question is asked now. You have to answer it now. And you've been given the option to write it on a piece of paper and give it to us.
Yes.
Your legal representatives are not testifying, Mr. Mkhwanazi.
No, I can write it down. I can write it down.
Yes. Give him a piece of paper.
They are borrowing me now.
I could have predicted it would be a dead person.
But Chair, you heard that's the person I was working with.